خالد والد أنس يعني عنده مشكلة في المخ، اكتشفناها وهو عنده 9 شهور. في الأول طبعا كانوا بيقولوا إن ده بس عشان مولود بدري فهيتأخر شوية، طبعا مفيش حركة، بيقعد مش أحسن حاجة. بدأنا علاج طبيعي وقلنا إن شاء الله يعني الموضوع هيعدي، بس الموضوع طول شوية. دكتورة الأعصاب قالت لنا في عملية بتتعمل، هي طبعا رشحت لنا كذا دكتور جوه ورشحت لنا الدكتور الخبير كريستيان. تواصلنا مع حد في الإدارة هنا في المستشفى ومشكورين يعني جاهدين، عملوا شغل كبير جدا ولحد ما قدروا يجيبوه. دعواتكم بقى إن شاء الله.
أنا أستاذ دكتور محمد رضا راضي، أستاذ جراحة المخ والأعصاب ورئيس قسم جراحة المخ والأعصاب بمستشفى دار الفؤاد السادس من أكتوبر. بالنسبة للبرنامج الخبراء الأجانب اللي المستشفى دار الفؤاد حريصة عليه دايما، اللي بيفيد المريض، بيفيد الطبيب، بيفيد المنظومة الصحية المتكاملة، بحيث ان احنا بنقدر ندخل احدث التقنيات اللي بتتعمل في الخارج عن طريق احضار الخبراء الاجانب في مصر. فده بيدينا فرصة كبيرة جدا ان احنا نعالج حاجات ما بتتعالجش في مصر، بيدينا فرصة ندرب الكوادر الطبية. السنة دي عاملين إحضار للأستاذ الدكتور كريستيان أكوالينا، أستاذ جراحة مخ وأعصاب الأطفال المتخصص في عمليات الشلل الدماغي. وإن شاء الله هيبقى في زيارات متكررة بحيث نقدر نعمل أكبر عدد ممكن من الأطفال المحتاجين الجراحات دي، بحيث تساعدهم على المشي ويكون في تطور في التعليم بالنسبة لهذه النوعية من الجراحات في مصر.
I am Christian Akwalina. I'm a consultant pediatric neurosurgeon in Great Ormond Street Hospital in London, where I have been doing the selective dose rhizotomy operation now for about 12 years. Cerebral palsy is an important and frequent problem in children. These are children who often are born early or have an early injury to the brain when they are very small or as babies. And one of the key manifestations of cerebral palsy is stiffness and tightness in the legs. These children may otherwise be very well, but the tightness in the legs is a big problem for them as they grow. We see that their development in terms of their motor milestones is very delayed, and they take a very long time to be able to sit on their own, to be able to crawl, and eventually, if they manage, to be able to walk. Over the last few years, there has been an increased interest in an operation called selective dose rhizotomy, or SDR for short. And although this has been available for a long time, it is only in the last 20 years or so, after a lot of work done by a very famous neurosurgeon in the United States called Dr. Park. This operation involves dividing some of the nerve roots in the spine. These nerve roots are sensory nerve roots, and they come from the legs down to the spine and all the way up to the brain. And by dividing about 50 to 60% of these nerve roots carefully in an operation with nerve monitoring, the spasticity is reduced on a permanent basis. This is the only procedure known to reduce spasticity and stiffness in cerebral palsy children over a permanent basis. Once the SDR operation has been done, the spasticity is hardly ever a problem again. This is a safe operation, and I have done more than 400 of these, and we have been very impressed by the results in these children. In the past, the operation was a much bigger operation than it is today. It used to involve opening the spine over 4 or 5 levels. Today we can do it through a single level. Using an operating microscope and neuromonitoring, we can remove just one segment of bone in a 3-hour operation, divide the nerve roots, put the bone back, and the child recovers much more quickly than before. Traditionally, in the old type of operation, these children used to take about 4 to 6 weeks to recover. But with the new single-level procedure, these children are ready to begin moving and start their physiotherapy and rehabilitation by the 3rd day of the operation. In our experience, the children who do best with selective dose rhizotomy are those who are generally young, between 3 and 10 years of age. Over 10 years of age, children usually have established deformities and pain, and it may be quite difficult then to reverse that with selective dose rhizotomy alone. The children who do best as well are those who have a brain injury very early on in life, especially those who are born prematurely, typically between 25 weeks and 32 weeks. And these are the ones who have a very typical change on their brain MRI scan, which we call periventricular leukomalacia, which is a long word for deep white matter disease. And it takes them some time and some therapy to come back to what they were before the surgery, and to then grow stronger and better, and without their spasticity are able to move more freely and more independently. So I will be planning to be here again later in the year, around October, and if there are any children you would like to discuss to see whether they may be suitable for the operation, I would be very happy to see them.